Hecklefish at the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there. It's like I told my last wife. I says, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes. You just listen to the Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed, 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against the barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye and he asks you if you paid your dues. Well, you just stare that big sucker back in the eye and remember what old Hecklefish always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, fish? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. Well, you see, I'm not saying that I've been everywhere and I've done everything, but I do know it's a pretty amazing planet we live on here, and a man would have to be some kind of fool to think we're all alone in this universe. We're going off the rails on a crazy train. With the beat, we're going off the rails on a crazy train.
Another theory is that it's a Foo Fighter.
Hello, I've waited here for you ever long.
During
Tonight, I throw myself into out of the red, out of her head she sang. And I wonder.
Yo!
What? Foo Fighters.
I know the song, but may I?
Yeah, go ahead with the story about your alien balls.
Okay, so I asked AJ anything you'd like from Thomas Jane says answers. The only thing I would want would be a promo from Jane saying to the camera.
Oh man, I can't. It's going to take me a long time to memorize this.
Expected you an hour ago.
He's a long hoof from the Medina, sir.
This is your Baratna Miller, telling you to watch the wash files. Delta Iota. Oh, Delta Iota. I think I said it right.
Delta Loda!
Wait, is that Belta? Yeah, it's Belta Lauda, isn't it?
Delta Loda!
Yeah, now I'm back to memorizing lines. Tell AJ. You.
That's the answer. Thank you, Tom.
You stay there, right there.
Coleman gotta die sometime.
But now, this is your Baratna brother, Miller. This is your Baratna Miller telling you to watch the Y-Files. Belta Lauda, motherfucker. This is great, but I'm a huge fan, and I never miss an episode. And thank you for doing what you do, because I really think you're helping spread the word in a powerful way, and it's a lot of fun. And I was sad that, you fired the Hecklefish,
What is this human even talking about?
and then you guys had to shut down for a month while Hecklefish renegotiated his contract or whatever was going on there. But
Hollywood.
I'm glad you guys are back. I was hoping you guys had axed the fish for good, but somehow he weaseled his way back in. So I'm okay with it for now.
In Area 51, a secret code inside the Bible said I would. I love my UFOs and paranormal fun, as well as music, so I'm singing like I should. But then another conspiracy theory becomes the truth, my friends, and it never ends. No, it never ends. I fear the crap cat and got stuck inside Mel's home with MK Ultra. I'm being only too aware. Did Stanley Kubrick fake the moon landing alone on a film set, or were the shadow people there? The Roswell aliens just fought the smiling man, I'm told, and his name was Cold. And I can't believe I'm dancing with the fish. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and Wi-Fi's helping me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the Wi-Fi's on repeat all through the night. The Mothman sightings and the solar storm still come to Agatha, the secret city underground. Mysterious number stations, planet Serpo 2, Project Stargate, and what the Dark Watchers found. We're in a simulation, don't you worry though. The Black Knight satellite, it told me so. I can't believe I'm dancing with the fish. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and the Wi-Fi's helping me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the Wi-Fi's on repeat all through the night. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and the Wi-Fi's helping me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the Wi-Fi's on repeat all through the Cutie loves to dance on the dance floor because she is a camel, and camels love to dance when the feeling is right, always in time. Cutie loves to dance. Cutie loves to
Thank you for watching the After Files live stream. This is not a professional production. We don't know why anyone watches this thing, but we're glad you do. And now, To kick off the show is everyone's favorite sidekick, the one, the only, Hecklefish.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
The After Files is streamed in front of a live audience. All right, that's on. Is this working? Thumbs up from the producers. Hey, everyone. Who's here in the chat? Oh, good job, mods. The Hybrid is here. Hybrid was out in Vegas a couple of weeks ago signing autographs, taking selfies with his fans. It was fun to be part of an entourage. Amphibious, you love this bar. Hey, Muna. Scott E is here. Games, good to see you. K-Pash is here. Razier, Steve's cool. Mike Goad, good to see you back. Wes. Uncle. Ms. Melly, good to see you. There's Bill Hegarty. This Sly by Night, we love the song. There's just something about it. That was a fan just sent that in randomly. And I get sent a lot of audio files, and they're always terrible. So I stopped opening them. Don't open attachments from the audience. But something just made me open his file, and from the first couple of notes, I was like, "This is a winner. I can't improve on this." So I ran it as the credits during one episode just to see what the response would be. And like 35,000 people stayed to listen to the song. It's like, okay, this might be a winner. So it became the official Wi-Fi's theme song. Hey, Casey, thanks for spreading the love. Casey Gates. Wouldn't be an After Files if we didn't start off with Quantum Sledgehammer. Pardon me. A lot of bubbles. It's the last night of drinking. May's going sober, May. Which means I'm going to be late to work tomorrow. All right, Quantum, what you got? I was asked to pass this message on to you. You're doing a great job, buddy. Judging by the YouTube comments, there are more and more people finally convinced you're an asset. Keep up the great work. Love, Richard Doty.
Ba-dum-dum.
Very good. Very good. The king of PSYOP disinfo. Thanks, one stoner, three cats. It just made me think of what you're parodying. Plum is the New Black is here. MP Nightmare, good to see you back. Can I have your bar? Help yourself. Those bottles are going to be dusty. I'm just going to clean up my act in May. And then I'll fall off the wagon in June. So when you're gifting memberships, we can't control it. They're just handed out randomly. So if you're asking for one, we can't do anything. Skylar, thank you for that. Zug, no, I'm got to go sober from everything. There's Mike is back. Hecklefish is back. Bought my coin. Thanks, team. So the Patreon members get first shot at the what is Victoria saying? Don't talk about the coin. This is coin 2, version 2. Oh, this is still secret?
That's series 1. We're on 2. Right in-house or accessories.
Do we have series 2 up yet?
Yeah. I've already sold half of them already to the patrons.
Well, I'm allowed to talk about it though, right?
Yeah, no, they're for sale now to everyone. The patrons got first.
Oh,
dibs.
okay. Is Moon series? That's what we're on.
Yeah.
The Moon coins. So yeah, so the patron, and I signed all of these.
You did.
Someone was saying in the comments that that's not my real signature, but I actually sit at the table and I sign everything. I signed a bunch of stuff today: posters, bunch of Crab Cap posters, tons of the coin cards, and a couple of baseball caps for some teenage tykes out there. Leonardo, and I forgot what your brother's name was, but I remember Leonardo because it's a Ninja Turtle. So those are the challenge coins. Gertie on the moon, and they all come with a signature, if that's important to you for some reason. But great way to support your favorite YouTube channel, or this one. GD lurked. Oh, she's busy. GD lurked this monster gifted 10 memberships. Thank you for spreading the love. Oh, hi. I got to be careful because I'm like Ron Burgundy. Also spreading it. Mike D's back for 21. Loving both formats. I'm glad you do. The comments, the reactions are mixed on the other format, but it's mostly confusion. You know, a lot of people were thinking I changed the formats, but we didn't, as you saw tonight. And Hecklefish didn't phone it in. He had some zingers. He had a couple of zingers. So he was back in force. So Mike D loves both formats. Good to see the fish again. Just want me to get back to Thursdays. I'm trying. Gonna wake up tomorrow thinking it's Friday. Great episode. Same here. I would have delayed it till tomorrow, but sponsor commitments. It would be nice to not have sponsor commitments. Speaking of those, I got to run an ad tonight. Just to make a sponsor happy. I hope you don't mind. It's 2.5 minutes. I think it's funny. Should we do it now, V? Should we get the ad done now? Thumbs up. All right.
I was pressed for time. No problem.
Human, I need the company credit card pronto. Admiral Bluefin just backed out of sponsoring the prizes for my tournament.
What tournament?
The Veterans of the Seven Seas tournament. Only the most prestigious naval combat competition this side of the Atlantic. But it's going to be expensive. We got tactical simulations, strategic challenges, and a synchronized swimming event that separates the guppies from the groupers.
I am not giving you the company credit card for this.
Oh, come on. My reputation is on the line. You know how hard I work for these medals? This purple fin is for bravery in the face of a hungry pelican. The tactical toilet escape ribbon, that's for surviving 5 consecutive flush attempts. And the Sardine Service Award for cramming 17 fellow soldiers into a single escape submarine.
If these veterans are so elite, why not let them test their skills in World of Warships?
Oh, hang on a minute. Did you just navigate our fleet into sponsored waters?
I absolutely did. World of Warships is a free-to-play naval combat game available on PC with over 600 historically accurate ships to command. Destroyers, battleships, cruisers, even aircraft carriers. And it's not just about explosions, there's strategy involved. Choose your ships, plan your attacks, and lead your fleet in 12v12 PvP battles. With weekly updates, new missions, and seasonal events, there's always something new. Speaking of new, the Headless Horseman has joined World of Warships with a cursed commander and ghostly ship skin. Unleash terror with an eerie glow and a merciless commander. Use code HEADLESS to get an exclusive starter pack with 500 doubloons, 1.5 million credits, a 7-day premium account, and a Headless Horseman commander and ship skin. Plus, after 15 battles, choose a free ship: Wakataka, St. Louis, or Vandertan. World of Warships is free to play. Get started today by clicking the link down in the description.
This is perfect. We'll make it the grand prize and use it for qualifiers. Lieutenant, update the tournament itinerary. And make sure the restrooms are labeled port and starboard. We don't want another situation like last year. Captain speaking. What do you mean the venue's been double booked?
Problem?
The convention center double booked us with the annual Angelfish beauty pageant. No, we're not sharing the space. My veterans didn't survive torpedo attacks to share a stage with fish who think naval service means wearing a seashell bikini. Look, I gotta go. The pageant moms are storming the perimeter. Trust me, human, there's no more fearsome enemy than a divorcee with a spray tan, a child, and a dream. Battle stations, boys, and don't let them near my glitter.
All right, we made good. That was a make good ad. I thought it was pretty funny. You got to go back and listen to his awards. The tactical toilet escape ribbon. All right, where are we? Casey, thank you for sharing the love. Dead Man, thank you for the super sticker. 1 stoner, 3 cats. This is King Biggles. What is their beer of choice tonight get? What is their beer of choice tonight get? Yes? I don't know. It sounds like a Yoda sentence. Can you make sense?
No.
Beer you have, what kind? I'm drinking Lambic because you can't really get drunk on it. Because being drunk on the live stream is not a good look. But since we're doing Sober May, I had to have something. Avatar guy, good to see you back. King Biggles had many beers. I think so too. Amphibious One, thank you for the 5. Cuddy Choya likes to dance too. Look at that. I didn't know there's camel emojis like that. Luke B, that's what I'm drinking. You get drunk on this raspberry framboise? I don't. Victoria does. She had 3 sips of it and fell asleep at her desk at work. I'm just catching up on the chat. Howdy, Russell. First time. Plum, 120 days sober. Congrats. Keep it up. Jericho, 199. Weekly dues for a hecklefish. I appreciate that. Eric says, consider Kettle Lake in Texas, Louisiana. Spooky. Love the shows. All right. I'll look into that. Kettle Lake. So have they debunked the pyramids yet? The pyramid, the city under the pyramids, is that officially debunked yet? I mean, I like the story. But those scientists, now they've discovered a sarcophagus that they say is, let me see if I can show you what I'm looking at. So the secret sarcophagus discovered by the same scientists, let me pull that down, who found the quote unquote city under Giza pyramid. By the way, the Egyptian authorities just pledged a $51 million renovation to the Giza site. I don't know, coincidence. See Italian researchers in quotes because they claim to be Egyptologists, but they have no credentials. Nothing has been peer reviewed. So the same team making headlines again for discovery. This time they believe they found the tomb of Osiris, the Egyptian god of the dead, in a hidden chamber 600 feet below the pyramids. So this is what they see. And they say that's the tomb of Osiris. Okay. So they don't really tell us their technique, so we can't really replicate it, and nothing is published. Now, you know that I think that there's something more to the pyramid. No mummies have ever been found there. I subscribe to the pyramid power plant theory. You know, Chris Dunn's theory. I think it has the most scientific foundation. It's still a stretch, but it's feasible. You know, and all that chemical residue, if you remember that episode, the Tesla pyramid episode, the chemical residue is there that supports his theory. But I don't know if they discovered a city under there. I think we're going to find out that story's debunked. Jay Hayes for $20.
Won't you tip me? You know I don't believe you when you say you don't got money. Won't you tip me? You know I can't believe it when you say that I'm not funny. I write too many jokes just to amuse you folks. You better super chat me or I'll just keep singing. Won't you tip me, human? Won't you tip me? Oh. Won't you tip me, human? Won't you tip me? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Jay says, I hope Jen's feeling better. You guys are the best. Oh, she's feeling better, but it was a bit of a thing. Where is she? Where are you? Ouch. Ow. I don't know where she went. She was trying to interrupt earlier. So she had a breast reduction surgery, I told you guys. And it went really well. She was feeling great. A little too great. Well, I'm talking about you. A little too. What? Where? Ow. Ow. I just a shock from everything. In Vegas. Ow. Like I could see the sparks. So she felt great. So of course, pushed too hard. Ruptured something, bleeding, hospital, second surgery, all within like 48 hours. And then a tube coming out of the surgery that she had to empty the fluids in the blood every so often. And we had to journal it, how many cc's of blood we drained out of her body. So she got her tube removed today. She's very excited. So we have to tell her to take it easy. No shopping. No brunches. So Sumi67, $1 for each of Victoria's toes. She's what is she, a Muppet? She has more than 3 toes. You have more than 3 toes, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
You do. She probably has. You have 10? You're not polydactyl?
No.
No. I would have thought that she maybe had 6 on each foot. Well, we appreciate that, Susini. One stoner says, I'd love to make you a painting. You have a PO box. Yeah, our PO box is on our info page on the site. I'm out of breath from walking around the camera. This is why we got to do Sober May. We got to get our act together. Yeah, it's if you go on the channel, however you see the info, our PO box is there. That's what we're calling it now. Now it's called a PO box. Hey, Random in Jackpot, Nevada. Looking forward to that painting. Richard Erickson for $20.
Yes, thank you, human. You know the deal.
Most of the story on tonight's episode I've heard before. I was in the U.S. Navy for 21 years. Yeah, especially the orangutan. That still makes people nervous. I don't know if that one's real. There's no real evidence of it, but if they were sailing under a different name, there's hybrid gifting memberships, LRP gifting memberships. You work for the channel. Please don't spend your money. Chamev, $25.
I get pretty freaky. He's a super freak. The kind of fish you dream about. You got freaky dreams. I get pretty kinky. He's a super freak. But only if you pay me. Gotta pay the fish. I need a tip. I need a tip. I need a tip from you. And you. And you, human. You and you and you. Hit the super chat, hit the button now.
Hi, Dawn. There you go. You got your $25 worth. Hi, Dawn. I'll say Dawn one time for each of Victoria's toes. Dawn. Gary from Neurotic did not inspire Sober May. I'm not like going in the program or anything like that. It's just when it becomes part of my routine, it's time to change up the routine. You know, when I'm thinking about when I'm at work, like, oh, I wish I can go home and just have a whiskey. That's not have to get out of that mindset, which I do this every couple of years. I just reset. And part of it is just to prove that I can. You just have to prove to yourself that you can. When you say I can stop anytime you want, can you though? Then stop. So that's what I'm going to do, just for a little bit. I can't predict what's going to happen in June. Torgonius 5. Just as riding into space makes you an astronaut, does it though? Finding Egypt on a globe makes you an Egyptologist. Well said. Colton, yeah, weed just doesn't really, it kind of makes me anxious. I wish it worked for me. I have some gummies that are CBD heavy that I think I'm allowed to take as part of my program that I'm inventing right now, just to help sleep. So those kind of work for me. Aiden, Dad, what's the creepiest part of Arizona? Tombstone's pretty creepy if you've ever been down there. And the Boot Hill Cemetery is still there. It's pretty creepy because a lot of those names. And Tombstone's, I don't know if they still do it, but every weekend they would do a reenactment of the shootout at the OK Corral with the Earps. And I forget the name was it the Clantons? The Earps and the Clanton brothers? I forget. But they would do like a live shootout. So a lot of fun. Patrick, if weed makes you anxious, you just have to smoke more until your tolerance builds up. Don't listen to that, kids. Don't do that. Thanks for that, Paul Miller. Howard's there. Much love from Norway. Hey, thanks, Norway. Appreciate you. Justin Bundy, shout out to my 24/7 chat family. Love what you do. Yay, Jen. Yeah, it's a whole community over there on the 24/7 stream. In fact, let's see. You think anyone's over there now? Or is the stream down? Oh, man, the ads. People are there. There's 3,400 people over there. Dude, we're over here. Oh, geez. And what's with the now do 911 just stuck up there? That shouldn't be there.
Hey, kids at home, if you want to learn how to do a professional live stream, watch something else. This ain't it.
The Dead Man for 5, Agent Hecklefish, would love to see you on Nerdrotic Forbidden Frontier. Please, thank you for coming back, Gary. Introduce me to your channel. All right. Hail, Gary. Yeah, I'll hop on there when I have something to talk about. This is going to drive me nuts now. Now do 911 has just been on the screen. And I think if I take it off, people are going to complain. I got to try. This is very risky what I'm doing right now. Very risky to do this in another browser window. All right, if everything crashes now, I'll be right back.
Through the brush. He thought it was too big to be a rat, but maybe a coyote?
All right, am I still here? That's on. Okay. So I guess now do 911 was up there for 5 hours. There is Phantom Empress for $100.
I'm a goldfish. In a steel bowl I swim. I wanted a tip. I wanted a tip.
In the voice of Darth Sidious, do it. Two unrelated questions. One, do the orange glasses help with eye strain? Who makes them? Yes, that's why I wear them. It's not a fashion statement. I'm not trying to be Robert Downey Jr. Besides, I'm taller than him. It's they're just because a bright light in my face, and they have magnification so I can read the chat. If you look at the first after files, a lot of it was this and squinting. So that's why these. And they're from Amazon. They're not expensive. There's a link to them on our Reddit if you want to pick them up. I have them in, I got them all down here. This is the live stream one. Then I got the close-up one for when I'm writing, the far away one from when I'm watching. Wait, who's this? What's going on?
Hello.
There she is. Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling okay.
Do you want to show them your
No.
wound? What? Show them the work.
No, I'm just going to go sit down now. I just wanted to say hi.
Nice jab at RDJ. Don't tell him.
Bye.
Are you going to take it easy?
Yes, I'm going to go take it easy right now.
All right. Take it slow.
Okay.
All right. There she goes.
Bye.
There she goes. And what brings you joy? Well, that lady does. She does. Making stuff that connects with people would be my answer. That's why I stuck with the channel. I knew that I would connect with people if they just found it. It took a long time. But we had a nice small community there for like almost 2 years. I remember when Patreon was at 24, 25 people. I think Victoria was like Patreon number 3. I would send a customized thank you video to every Patreon member. I replied to every comment. Just stuck with it because I knew I was connecting with people, even if it was just a few. I had no idea it would become what it is. Deadman 5 would love to see you on Neurotic. Oh, already got that one. Yeah, I'll hop on there. That will do the Expanse. Talk everyone into watching this amazing series. I noticed you were into it, and it's so underrated. I agree. Grab the books. That will do. The books are way better than the TV show, of course. And I love the TV show. But the books continue the story all the way to the end. So you know what's on the other side of the ring and all that stuff. And it gets really good. Oh my goodness, that's not professional at all. Louis Rivero, hey guys, happy to see you more frequently. Hope you have news on the podcast deal soon. Yeah, I hope so. That's what we're doing this for. Then I could stop, shilling for sponsors. Look, I appreciate PDS Debt. I really do. They're reliable. They let Hecklefish get wild. But it would be nice to just make content for the group, for the community. If you can help with that, Luis, if you want to email Spotify or Amazon, help me out with that deal. Random Dan's love from Jackpot, Nevada. I don't know where that is. What a great name, though, for a city. The White Files. Have you ever heard the Old Man's War book series? I read it. Great series. This from Mr. Beats. I read all of his stuff. What is his name? You guys will remember his name. John Scalzi. He's very funny. Christopher Jane, what are you drinking? Lindemann's Framboise. Raspberry lambic beer. So I can have a drink and not get drunk. Hybrid plugging like a warrior for the merch. Code Lizard people were 10% off the first order. I didn't know that code was still there. Remember, if you're going to buy merch, become a member here or on the YouTube page or backstage, and you get 10% off everything in the store. Anything you want. So if you're going to spend $40 on t-shirts, get the coupon code, save $4, it pays for itself. And it helps out the channel. And all that money goes to the team. I don't keep any of that. Team Endy, watch the Conclave. You'll get your Pope answer. I heard that's really good. I forgot to put that on my list. Yeah, the blonde lady is Victoria. The blonde lady. Why rock for $10?
Thank you for that tip. Now I can finally join C Harmony and meet the future ex-Mrs. Moriarty.
Can you say hello to my daughter, Abby? Hi, Abby. Wyrock dropping $10 for you. I don't know what you're talking about, Accelerator, but that comment's probably going away. Evil Collector, I will let him know. Pete Roland is here. SW is here for the foot rubs. See you later, Abby. Let's see, for 10, Sober May, Hogwash, train how you fight. Patrick Rogan is too busy interviewing Hollywood stars now. Well, I have some news that contradicts that. Lone Wolf, great episode. Just bought a new coin and shirt. All right. I love them. I wish you had a Snitches Get Stitches t-shirt or cup. We can do that. We can make that happen. And thanks for buying the coin. I think I need to get me a coin before they sell out. Hang on. It's not professional. There it is. All right, where are we? I'm glad you liked that episode. Going into it, I wasn't sure. But as I finished writing it, I was like, this is kind of fun. And Hecklefish had some zingers. It was good to get back to the regular format. Yes, Prozac. I'll be on Joe's show. But I've already been on there. And me and Gino were on there a few years ago. So, but I don't know when yet. But maybe soon. Maybe soon. Hybrid for $20. Great episode. Glad to see Hecklefish isn't too upset with his contract negotiations, having to miss out on the stripped episodes. Those are harder than I thought, those stripped episodes. I gotta cut those down. Goody Choya, it's Mocktail May. 7-Up the cranberry, wedge of lime. That's a good idea. Vegas Brent spreading some memberships around. Kravos, I'm trying to bring back the 80s. I didn't know that was hanging out. Brandon for 20 to celebrate hitting 30,000 in the Discord counting channel today. I don't know what that is. What's a Discord counting channel?
There's a channel where they count. You literally count 1, 2, 3, 4. They type it in, and they've gotten to 30,000.
So the people in there just typing the number?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a thing that they do. Well, congratulations on the counting channel. That's why I love this group. Patty Lingris says hi to Hecklefish.
This human knows what's up.
Gun for 5, thanks for everything to you and y'all's team. The best YouTube channel by far. Nah, it's not the best channel. We're maybe in the top 10. Mike definitely, wow, 30,000. Yeah, I didn't know that was even a thing. Mischief says is at 30,002. Are we going to start counting in here? We have. The counting has begun. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I kind of want to look in the Discord, but I don't want to invade anyone's privacy. But now I'm curious. Thanks, Bobby. Did you guys see what Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, did you see his blog post this week? Oh boy. The urgency of interpretability. He's the CEO of Anthropic, who makes Claude AI, which we love. But here's something I've been talking about. I even mentioned it in my episode. People outside of the field are often surprised and alarmed to learn that we do not understand how our own AI creations work. They are right to be concerned. This lack of understanding is essentially unprecedented in the history of technology. That's true. They don't know how AI works. They just know that it does. So now and Dario says there's no turning back. He says we can't stop the bus, but we can steer it. He's written about the importance of deploying AI in a way that's positive for the world and of ensuring that democracies build and wield the technology before autocracies do. So he's calling on OpenAI and others to do more interpretability. And what he means is trying to learn how the thing works. How is it teaching itself? You know, if you follow the models, you know that one of the latest add-ons is to show the thinking out loud. So that's for us, but that's also for the engineers to like, all right, what is it doing behind the scenes? But they still really don't know. You know, Dario still does not know. And Anthropic's model, you know, depending on what you're using it for, is usually the best. Usually it is the best on the benchmarks. I don't know if you guys follow it. I know Qwen 3 came out today. I think DeepSeek were due for a drop. James, I don't know what is with Cucamonga. Isn't that a city in California? Yeah, so the AI episode that I did, I forget what the name of it was. But Freckles did a great job editing it. A lot of it is, if you watch that episode and then watch the most recent World Economic Forum meetings, the Council of Foreign Relations, they're saying the same exact stuff that is in that video. One world currency, a Bitcoin type thing. It's totally coming true. A few other things as well. I have to check on my X account, but a few other predictions coming true, which I don't want to be right. Deadman says, I want to say that I watch your crop circles video multiple times because I think they're real, but I have to watch it over and over to retain the information and pass it on. Yeah, I forget a lot of that episode, Deadman. But that was one I went in completely skeptical about and came out convinced that there are a few crop circles that cannot be explained. And I didn't know the evidence until I started researching. Bless you.
As far as live streams go, this one is terrible.
Yeah, so it's not a soundproof booth here. I'm just on a stool in my sloppy man cave. Bless you. It's kind of a dump. I mean, it looks cool on camera, but it's really just kind of a dump. Like so many content creators, they had like great, cool YouTube shot, but if you look on the other side of the camera, there's just boxes piled up, and it's a mess. There's an old dog laying in the corner. Tony, did you see the whistleblower that just interviewed with Knapp? He talks about the Immaculate Constellation and the Black Government. I haven't seen that, but I'll definitely check it out. What if the Black Knight satellite resurrects itself? You just blew my mind. Long haul driver couldn't make it a whole month sober. You don't have to. Good to see you, Mike. Crop circles and Nazca lines, two my favorite for sure, says SW. I agree. Cody, we're not investigating or debunking anything unless you want to. I just want to pop on and say hi and to reassure you that the old format is still here. The Toxic wants to know, how did the astronauts get through the Van Allen belt? She's laughing out in there. Fat Man Dave says, hamburger.
Chickity, chickity, ching.
Being sober is cool if you stick with it, says Eric. It is. I've gone years and felt better. It's such a weird thing. Alcohol is not good for you. It is not good for your body. Don't ever do it. It's delicious though. T. Nooner wants an Illuminati mug. Go crop circles. That's a good idea. And that shirt is a bestseller. AK, keep it up. Lots of you guys. Lots of you too, AK. Usual suspect is here. New transition is good. Glad you like it. Glad you noticed. Jason wants the Bennington, Vermont Triangle, longer version. Could maybe do that. Caster 24/7, Y tribe represent. We're all green down here. Let's drop some greens in the chat. You get a green. You get a green. You get a green. Bees. There we go. Hecklefish takes the tip.
Ah, comedy.
Tracy, thank you for the super sticker. AK drops $100 in the bucket. You know what that means.
A modern day goldfish lives in style, but you haven't tipped in quite a while. My money is all spent. You haven't tipped a cent. I gotta pay my rent, or I'll be living in a tent. In Portland.
In Portland, I heard her. Thanks for keeping my late nights interesting. You're welcome, AK. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Organic, when's the first interview in the basement? I don't know. It's not finished yet. We just started decorating. Still a little bit more tech to do. Dan Low, gift subs were a setting you had to turn on, huh? Yeah, I didn't know that either. You have to turn on the ability to receive gifts. I forget how to do it. But it's somewhere in your settings. Psychoholic, poor Portland, LOL. I know. I loved Portland. Maybe it's come back. I hope. You know, when he recorded that, I think they were like burning down the police station or something. I don't know. I didn't follow it. Smooth Criminal for 5. Good evening. I had to ask, did you do a last Pope video or plan to do one in the future? Keep on rocking in the free world. Do we have a new Pope yet? If his name is Peter, that completes the 1,000-year prophecy. And he's the last Pope. And then it's the end of days. So get your affairs in order. So I don't know if we've seen the white smoke yet. New Pope. I haven't heard anything either, but it looks like they did. Who will be the next Pope? Look at the top contenders. There's the Cardinals. Wanted a holy man job description, leading the 1.4 billion strong Catholic Church, location Vatican City. Oh, so this is like the draft. Well, we'll find out. If his name is Peter, we're in trouble. All right, hang on. I gotta do something about these. My sinuses are so clogged that I'm having trouble breathing. Like I'm panting. Anyone prank calling Cardinals? Don't do that. Don't do that. Leave them alone. Most of them are good men. Not all of them. Trisha, thank you for the 5. Arcanine, thank you for the 20 super sticker. Jacob, love how real you are. I'm honest. I'm honest with you guys. You know, I make mistakes. I try to own up to them, but I do try to be honest. So yeah, I'll just blow my nose on the stream. It's not a professional operation. It's going to feel like tomorrow's going to feel like Friday. Jane, you have one as well. Mr. Beat, sinuses are terrible from sanding drywall without a mask. Ugh. Just white powder everywhere. Skylar, you were in Legend of Korra? Yeah, I did a few voices in Legend of Korra for Nickelodeon. A super fun job. Working with J.K. Simmons that day, who was really nice. Chris Hardwick. He's playing Plants vs. Zombies with Chris Hardwick. Teen Nooner helped your depression. I'd love to hear that. Small is one of the realest shows on YouTube. Yeah, because I don't do anything. I just sit here and just talk to the chat. We need a Wi-Files and the Fat Electrician collab. I don't know his channel, but I do like fat electricians. Fat Man Dave, 100 men versus one gorilla. Who would win? I think the men would 100. If it's 100 men, I think they can beat the gorilla. But the gorilla's going to take some men out. Not all 100 are coming out of that room or that octagon. That would be a mess. I'm picturing it as I'm talking about it. Husky 2, the Afterfile streams are our favorite. It's just like hanging out. Someone said it earlier that these feel like reminiscing with an old friend. That's how it's supposed to feel. Like we're just keeping company. Have you ever heard of Mr. E-Files on YouTube? Do you think you ever worked with him? That would be sick. Never heard of him. But I'll check it out. Adam, what's your favorite drink behind you? Anything from the bourbon shelf works. Bourbon shelves make that. Hank Lancaster do the 100 all attack at the same time. That's what I'm thinking. You got to swarm the monkey. You can't go in one by one like tag teaming because the gorilla will just take you out one at a time. You gotta swarm the monkey. And do the men have weapons? I'm assuming this is all hand to hand. So it's going to take a lot of strong dudes to get taken out. But if one of those men has a switchblade knife, it's different. Rice, no update yet. I don't have a date. It's just coming. I don't know how long after his talks that he releases videos. Avatar guy swarm the monkey t-shirt. That is a good phrase. Swarm the monkey. Lawrence, how about making extra voice boxes for more comments for my talking Hecklefish doll? Love you guys. Funny you should say that. Hecklefish recorded 12 new sound clips for voice box version 2. They'll be coming out very soon. And you don't have to buy a new plushie. You can just buy the voice box. It won't be expensive. And we're trying to design them so you can just have the voice box without the doll, if you want. Jessica, saline nasal spray helps, does it? I mean, I've got the Navage. I do the flushes. But I kind of think I need surgery. I've been neglecting my health, and I think I need surgery. I gotta go see the doc. Katya, I'm not fixing to be Pope. I mean, it's probably a sweet gig, but it's too much work. You have to talk to so many people. I don't want to talk to all those people. Let's just talk to you guys. David has schizophrenia. Every time there's a person or thing that helps relax my mind, I like to show appreciation. The channel is one of the things I use to wind down so I can actually sleep. Thank you for your up content. You're welcome, David. And hang in there. Hang in there. Get plenty of rest. Logan for 10, I want to know the YouTube channels you consider the other 9 in the top 10. I need more listen to while waiting on more Wi-Files. Also, is this real or the dead internet? I'm real. I don't know how many comments on a YouTube video are bots. If you watched my episode on the dead internet theory, it's about half. And I did that episode over a year ago, maybe 2 years. So many bots. So the other 9, I don't really know. I just was making a joke. Because clearly this channel is not in the top 10 on YouTube. That's a proven fact. But it's nice that you consider it a good one. There's 14 in Patreon, says R. Kreischer. 14 what? That guy says, I'm a bot. That's what a bot would say. Shelly, Hecklefish does his own voice. Who does your voice? Chloroslug, spicy food clears out the sinus. It does. I had hot Chinese mustard yesterday, and that helped. You just have to deal with the sweats. Skylar is your #1 channel. Appreciate you. Beth and Barry should be in the top 10. I appreciate that. Stephen Lane says hi to Bobby Lane. You can have a conversation with the super chats. I don't mind. And look, someone was saying, money was tight, so it was joining at a lower level. If money's tight, don't join at all. Hold on to your dough. Especially things could be weird for a while. Don't do it. Just the fact that you watch is enough. Team Ending, the top 10 are bought and paid for. They kind of are, but so is this channel. I mean, no one tells me what to say, but there are things I can't say, and the sponsors are real commitments. I can't even say that word, commitments. The sponsors are real commitments. So sometimes it feels like a sellout, but you got to keep the train moving, got to pay the bills. But maybe we can get to the point where we don't need the sponsors. That's the plan. Go watch the 24/7 live, make it a trend. Yeah, there's over 3,000 people over there now. They don't know that we're talking here. Actually, if a lot of them do, they don't want to be over here. They just like that stream. Yeah, Scott got to pay the bills. Got to pay Victoria. The whole team. Kenny, I love that you're honest about it. On anything you ask me, I'll give you an honest answer as long as it doesn't break someone's confidence. Jericho, can't stop the bus. We can steer it. Keanu and Sandra Bullock have entered the chat. #speed. It's kind of scary. Chris Rectangle, glad you exist. You're the best. Thanks, Chris. Amar says, you're dope, and The Expanse is the best book series ever. It's definitely one of my favorites. I listened to it on tape over and over again. Hertz Donuts. Victoria doesn't look cheap. She's not. She's worth every penny? Yeah. Well, someone tipped her $3, $1 for each of her toes. Well, that's weird. You get more than that. Yuki, greetings from Poland. Thank you for the great content over the years. I got here based on Tor Says recommendation a while ago. I don't know that one. Happy I did. Well, I'm glad. I never heard of Tor Says. Mountain Cowboy, 5,661 people watching at time of typing. You could start a cult. I'm trying. Then do an episode about your show as a cult. Now that's a plot twist. That's a great idea. The hardcore fans, it's kind of like a cult. I'll be honest. Most of our merch are inside jokes that only serious fans would know. Like what I'm wearing now. I went to Mel's home. All I got was a magic seal fetus. It's like, if you know, you know. Because we never explain the jokes. We just put them out there. Douglas, fourth wall break. I think we keep the channel very meta, intentionally, very aware of itself. Cella's back for research. Do you read a lot of books relating to the video topics? And if so, any books would you recommend? Also, 1980 film Death Ship worth a watch. I'll check that out. If the episode's about a book, then yes. I try to avoid reading because I'll get lost in the research then. But if there's an episode like the Theoba Prophecies, which is just a book, then really my episode is just a book report, like the Adam and Eve story. I think that's the most watched video on the channel. But that's just a book report of Chan Thomas's book is all I did. So yeah, so in that case, I read the book. For the Lyme disease episode, I had to read 3 books for that, but they were worth it. And that episode has me convinced that Lyme disease was created by the American government who hired Nazis after World War II, and the ticks got loose in the wild. There's evidence of it. There's documentation of infected ticks getting loosed in the wild. And the ground zero for Lyme disease is right across the Lyon Sound from Plum Island. Cody, you should do a live stream while you investigate and debunk. We'll watch you, chat with you. I did that once, and people kind of liked it. But, after like 6 or 7 hours, there are people in the chat going, well, what is this? What are we even doing here? Sometimes research is just me staring at a screen for hours like this. So it wasn't super entertaining to everybody. Plum crazy situation, Todd Berg. Yeah, check out that episode. I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just, it's a disturbing one. Snips, I cover ghost towns here and there. Virginia City. Yeah, that's a spooky one. I think I've covered a Virginia City hotel that's supposed to be haunted early on. Graceless, what does the J stand for in Hecklefish's name? I don't know. I think it's just J. I don't think it stands for anything. Like Harry S. Truman, the S was just S. I think the J is just J. Jay Hayes, loves debunking the skeptical thought process. Occam's razor is a fact. It kind of is. The easiest answer is usually the right one. David D. Lyme disease, Lyme, Connecticut. Yep. It's ground zero. Caesar, I've never done a meet and greet for the channel. Maybe we will one of these days. I'm not so good around people. Yeah, I like to just stay in my hidey hole away from people. Mike D just ordered a coin to add to the collection. Victoria, please handle with love and care, as we know she always does. George Knapp as an interview. Would love to talk to George. Love to talk to him. Do you want to read super chats while I go work on my Philosopher's Stone?
If I must. Oh, let me go up front top. Y'all are going to watch. It's going to disappear. Guys, you can't go away because I'll get in trouble if you go away. So stay. All right, let's see what we got here. William Adams, $4.99. Thank you so much. I love your show and have just started my own one called No One Thought. You're an inspiration, AJ. That's awesome. Let me write that one down. No One Thought. We'll check that one out. Teen Nooner for $5. Thank you so much. Also another $5 so I can say thank you, AJ. You've helped my depression immensely by being you and open about your own. Love your honesty, wine cheer. That is amazing. We hear that a lot from him and he loves hearing that. So thank you so much. That's what we're here for. Per Kitty Per, $10. Thank you so much. Have we lost anyone? Okay. There's more. Y'all stay with me. He'll be right back. Zap Aru for $19.99. Thank you, AJ and crew. Would you do an episode on Dr. Jonathan Reed's 1996 alien counter? We will look that up. We look at topics on Fridays. So thanks. And y'all guys know that we have the tip line and we pull them all from there. The more people that request, the more that it'll end up on there. Jeff up north, thank you so much for gifting those memberships. That really helps. Snips one, gifted one, the Wi-Files membership. Yay! Let's see what. Oh, okay. I did it.
How did you do?
Yeah, I think I did okay. We didn't lose anybody. We
didn't lose anybody.
We went up and then we went back down. So sorry.
No. Well, I think she did a great job. The Tabitha barbecuing, vote Hecklefish for Pope. You guys rule. Yeah, I'd like to see him in the Cardinals cap. The Vatican one, not the St. Louis one. Gino's down there lurking in the bushes. Maybe working on a new Ginos Story Hour soon. I don't know where we left off. Per Kitty Per. Did we get that one? Zapparoo for 20. Thanks. We do an episode on Dr. Jonathan Reed's 1996 alien encounter. I'll write that one down. Jonathan Reed. Oh, take a look at this. A 1996 Nazca specimen. Making no comments on the legitimacy. I just want to bring this to light for those who haven't seen it. Been getting a lot of disparaging comments. Join the club. Just for mentioning this case, it's important to talk about. Some more images there. No, link is dead. "19-page analysis comparing the Nazca specimens to 2 specimens from 1996 and 2011 events. From the Ankari Institute, 19-page analysis mainly covers 2 cases from 96 and 2011. 1996 obelisk event. Now, Gino's got to write this down. This would be a good one. There are the specimens. Wow, look. You see my mouse? It's opening his eye, the gloves. That looks a lot like ET. Yeah, we got to look into this. Original data can be found there. Videos on the case are there. I don't know. Did we get rickrolled? That can't be real. I don't want to show too much of that. I mean, we're demonetized anyway. I mean, I don't turn monetization on the videos, but I think YouTube might. I have it turned off. So some people were saying, "What's with all the ads?" I didn't turn them on. But it's funny, YouTube will run ads, and then I'll get a notice that I'm demonetized for showing something graphic. I always get copyright claim for all the music. But it's like I'm not monetized. JD, you're not seeing ads? Good. Dawn F, you should do a show on the Anunnaki. I did a long episode on the Anunnaki, almost over an hour. So we'll look into the alien story. I'm bookmarking all that. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. The affair of the non-human mummies of Nazca. The Genesis 2016. His team has been carrying out an investigation. Network of experts. Small humanoid body measuring 24 centimeters long. I remember seeing the picture. Mummified head and gigantic hand made of 3 fingers. That's like Victoria's feet. And of 6 phalanges and fitted with metal implants. Community Support 2017. Nazca Fair Congress of the Republic of Peru. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. There's an episode here. This is why I talk to you guys. Jay Hayes, these are not the droids you're looking for. Move along. Move along. Patrick, would you be willing to do an episode on the world banking system? I heard they're trying to centralize everything. This is a simulation. Turn us into a multi-planetary civilization like the UN in the Expanse. Yeah, I think so. I've done a lot of episodes against globalism. I don't know what else to say because I don't want to be a political channel. But there was a month there where, because of sponsor commitments, I think I did 3 in a row, like the Bilderberg Group and other globalist societies. It was to the point where people were like, is this what this channel is now? We're going to bring the aliens back, bring Bigfoot back. I wanted to, but the sponsors. So another episode, including the world banking system, I don't know. But if you watch the catalog, White House catalog, I cover it all. I talk about all of it. The IMF, all of it. World Bank is in D.C., says Dap. I don't know if I agree with you, but I know what you're saying. Wolfkinder5, hello. Me and team, one of the top contenders for Pope is really named Cardinal Pizzaballa. I heard that. That's a great name. Ian Cohen, do a deep dive into Secretary James Forrestal. Some serious death. Forrestal is one of the original Majestic, the Majestic Committee, who died a mysterious death. So I'm doing a Majestic 12 episode, so clearly he'll be in that. But I have covered a mysterious death from Majestic. I forget who it was. The guy who was pushed out of a hotel window. It'll come to me. They murdered him. They certainly did. Klaus, I haven't covered the reshot structure on Atlantis because I don't know what I could bring to it, but I would direct you to Corsetti's Bright Insight. Jimmy does a great job covering that. And Randall Carlson also covers the reshot structure of the Eye of the Sahara in Western Africa. So I would look at both of those guys' videos because they disagree with each other. Not in a disrespectful way. They just have different approaches, and I like them both. And you guys know that I'm a Bright Insight fan and a Randall Carlson fan. Thanks, Random Dams. Darkness says, please say hi to Kate Fortune. Hi, Kate Fortune. Mount Kai Boy, there's no Wi-Fi's dating site that I'm aware of. There's the Camel dating site that we used in sponsor it. I forget what we called it. Like Desert Meat or something. But that site is up. Bill Barclay isn't Bigfoot a Wookiee? Kind of is. I'm just catching the up with the chat. Says Sean, people seem to have a lot of accidents around the CIA. They do, don't they? A lot of bad luck. Yeah, Mr. Nick, even the channel's demonetized or it's turned off a couple of years back, you made an announcement they were going to run ads even if the channel isn't monetized. That's true. I mostly don't notice it because I pay for the YouTube whatever advanced on my main account. But that's the only one I have. So for the Wi-Fi's account, I see all the ads. So it's really annoying. Oh, we got something in the private chat. That's from Gino. The Neanderthal episode was a book too. That's true. We've done a few books. Those are good episodes because someone did all the research. All I have to do is kind of consolidate it, make it fun, and the guy has to put some jokes in there. Patrick, the After Files makes me feel like I have friends. You do. KJ, that's not nice. Ern, I don't know how to cover JFK now. It looks like Oliver Stone was right about everything. Somehow. Bye, Kate Fortune. There's Charlie 5 and Juniper 10 would be honored if you and Hecklefish said hello to them, please. Hi, Charlie and Juniper. Thanks for watching. If Whippet, if you open a ticket, I'll send something to them. Ironically, Genesis Forrestal had a tragic fire. Yep. Shout out to my Discord bonfire peeps from Brandon Wilson. Black Manx for $50.
Ooka chaka, ooka, ooka, ooka chaka, ooka, ooka. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. You mean you just don't realize what your tips do to me? When you tip me, I can pay my bills and you make me tingle in my gills. Oh, your tips are amazing, and I think it's crazy that you send cash to me.
Black Banks, forgive my earlier comment. Wink. I didn't see it, but really you have a great talent. Much enjoy your videos. Well, thanks, Black Banks. I didn't see the comment, which is probably for the best. And she hides a lot of them from me. Some people are mean. I don't understand why be mean to strangers on YouTube. That's what, never mind, says Small Z. Curious Noggin is back for 20 Canadian. Hey, team, hope all is going well for you. Wondering if a video on the shadow government will come out. Take care and glad you're back. I don't know. It's hard to research shadow government. And the times that I have, I've gotten in trouble. Like Denver Airport. Can't talk about it. Demonetized. And that I didn't even think that was that controversial. And I debunk a lot of that conspiracy theory. Not allowed to talk about it. Good luck finding that video. You're not going to find it. But remember, during Obama's administration, there was a scare. I think it was an asteroid impact scare. And they flew him to Denver Airport. Stephen Tatum for 5. Yeah, 24/7 crowd kind of has their own thing going on. They do. I go over there and I feel like I'm interrupting. Jay Hayes, internet tough guy. Yeah, I get a lot of those. I have not read the Stormlight Archive, T. Nooner, but I'm going to write it down. Stormlight Archive, high fantasy novel. I don't know if I'd be into it. I'm not really into high fantasy. I'm willing to try. We're not gay, but we're willing to learn. The Stormlight Archive is a high fantasy series written, consists 10 novels. Oh boy. 5 published, 2 novellas within the Cosmere universe. Way of Kings. What's it about? Russia's the native name for planet. Oh, maybe I watch this. I read this. High fantasy, but it's sci-fi. I might check it out. I'm looking for a new book series. Peralta Gold and the Superstition Mountains. Is that a topic suggestion, or are you just naming locations? I know what you're talking about. There's a story there. People disappeared in those mountains. Big Lurch of 5. What are the chances that Operation Paperclip was actually a Nazi idea to get into American high levels as in politics? That's a theory. I covered the dark side of Paperclip about how most of the Nazis that came over weren't scientists at all. They were intelligence assets. Most of them, thousands of them. The scientist was just what we were told. But all intelligence assets were eventually discovered by Nazi hunters. And the CIA and the FBI did not want to cooperate. So it's a weird situation where the Justice Department is at odds with the FBI and CIA. Mickey lives near the Superstitions. Don't go up there. Elite, you're reveling Oblivion for the 10th time. I've probably seen that movie at least that many times. Such a great sci-fi movie, the Oblivion, Tom Cruise. Shenanigans, McFanigan for 5. You read the book by Daniel O'Malley. It's like a cross between the X-Men and X-Files. I haven't read it. Sounds fun, though. That's the most Irish comment that I got tonight. Weaselways do a prophecy of the popes. If the Vatican appoints a Peter, I told you. Appreciate all that you do. If it's a Peter, that's the 1,000-year prophecy. MK's just yelling Victoria's name.
MK Nightmare!
I like big tips and I cannot lie. You other fish can't deny.
Alyssa Sned. Have you heard of the Rocky Flats of Colorado? I have not. There's a lot of conspiracies about it right now. There's a statue of Lucifer's red brother in a gas mask. Oh, okay, hang on. Hang on. Rocky Flats. former nuclear weapons facility. You have my attention. The site manufactured plutonium triggers for nuclear weapons. It's been the subject of extensive investigation and cleanup efforts due to environmental contamination caused by its operations. Oh, so good. They made plutonium triggers known as pits from 1952 to 1989. Operations resulted in contamination of the soil, water, and air with radioactive and hazardous materials due to accidental fires, spills, improper waste management practices. Oops. Oh, it's now a wildlife refuge. So that's why we've got dire wolves back. What kind of animals are they growing on the flats? It's like the Chernobyl wolves. Well, there might be a story here. I haven't. Is that where Blucifer is? Blucifer, Red Brother. I don't see the other one. But that's blue. That's the statue in front of the Denver airport. That's who Blucifer is. That blue Mustang with the glowing red eyes. The sculptor died while making it. Luis Jimenez. David, what was your reaction to the new scans beneath the pyramids? Have you done any research on those pillars? What it can mean? My first reaction was, whoa! Then I looked into it and I was like, oh, I think it's going to be debunked because the Italian researchers, they're not really researchers. They're not sharing their methods with anybody. Nothing is peer reviewed. And I mean, you see what the scans look like, right? I think it's some type of LiDAR, ground penetrating radar. So experts clash over the hidden city. So this is what we've seen in the news. But they derived it from this scan. So from this scan, you get this. So I saw this and I was like, of course, because I believe in the pyramid power plant. I think that's feasible. It makes more sense to me than a tomb. So I saw this. I was like, yes, we were right. The coils makes perfect sense down into the aquifer. And then I looked at the scans. It's like, oh, that doesn't look like anything. And now they just announced, I think it was today, that they found the sarcophagus for the tomb of Osiris. And it looks like this, just squigglies on a square. So where are the spirals? Maybe I don't know how to read this. Topography by radar shown at a press conference, later shared by spokesperson Nicole Ciccolo on YouTube. Zahi Hawass told the National that the researchers were completely wrong. So I read that as well. And so when Zahi Hawass says they're wrong, it usually means they're right. You know, he's so hardcore against anything that goes against the traditional Egyptian orthodoxy. I'm surprised he's still doing it. I don't know how old he is, but he has been debunking Egypt stories for a long time, since I'm a kid, I think. So when I heard that he was saying they're completely wrong, I'm like, well, they must be right. And then I looked at their work, and I'm not impressed. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be debunked. I want to be wrong. Cryptic, he's such a goon. He was so aggressive with Grant Hancock, but I heard that the two of them are like friends now. So, David, I think it's going to be debunked, but I want to be wrong. I want to believe in this. If you saw my episode about it, I talked about all of this stuff. I laid it out scientifically how it could work. And a lot of that research, the credit goes to Chris Dunn. You'll see his book on my shelf on the set. Pyramid Power Plant, Chris Dunn. He's got a few books. He'd be good to have in the basement. Now that I think of it. Maybe he's still doing talks. Mike Lang, how late are you guys here tonight? Not too late. Not going to go too late. Because Victoria's going to get tired and cranky. And I have to get my drinking done before it gets too late. So not too late. Maybe we'll go another half hour or so. ECGC for 10. Surfside condo phone calls made from missing grandparents' landline after tragic condominium collapse took their lives. Spooky. It's been on my list to do for a long time, is calls from the dead. There's a lot of stories like that. There's also the one of the guy who was killed in a train crash in Southern California and called his fiance or whatever. And they never recovered his body, but they found his phone. So there's been a few of those. There was even one story about a research team, 2 scientists researching phone calls from the dead. And one of the scientists dies and called the other one from the dead, and he recorded it. Now, it could be a hoax, but it's still a fun story. So maybe I'll cover it if you guys are, I wanted to see how the skull experiments did. If there was a taste for, my goodness, that was a big yawn.
Tired.
That was a big one. I wanted to see if there's a taste for ghost stuff here. And I'm not sure. John Davis, good luck. No Doge Boy's going to get you. PDX Chris Dunn is the man his theories seem most likely to me. To me, too. GTO, I saw an interesting podcast on how the Egyptian pyramids were taught is really a cargo cult. As we're taught is really a cargo cult. I don't know how that would be. You guys know the cargo cult? That phrase comes from after the war, after World War II, or even during the war, the military would send cargo down to the islands, Pacific Islands, in parachutes. And the native islanders had never seen this before and started worshiping like cargo boxes. And that's how that phrase got started. Jim Barkley, the body runs on electrical impulses as well as the phones, so I'm sure it could be. That's kind of how I feel. It's plausible electromagnetism. But, I'm not a ghost believer, but I'm open-minded to it. Meg's Dub V. Billy Carson's good. He's entertaining. But remember, if it's on Gaia, it's bunk. With all due respect, I pay for Gaia. There's very little that's true on that channel. And next, we're definitely bringing back Ginos Story Hour. Thanks, Nick Vega. Valid Ghostly, DB Cooper I haven't covered because it's been covered so much, and I don't have any new information beyond that chunk of money that was found a few years ago. I know there's a YouTuber who swears that he solved it, but I forgot who his name. Someone here knows it. Collapsed says, if the Anunnaki made us workers to take over for the other race, could there be humans on Nibiru right now? One was taken as a wife. Could we already exist outside this world thoughts? I think we could. If the Anunnaki story is true, part of that story is that they brought humans back. And it's supported by some parts in the Book of Enoch as well. If you translate it that way, which it easily fits. Part of the Anunnaki legend is, I think 10,000 humans were taken, but it varies from who you're reading. David Gaia doesn't have anything now. I mean, I go on there and look for stuff. That's how I found Timothy Hogan. So I challenged a lot of Grandmaster Hogan's claims, like, some of his religious claims and stuff, that he claims he has the bones of Jesus and some wild things. So I challenged him on those, but he was very cool about it. And I found him on Gaia. So like David Wilcox, did he start Gaia? I don't know. But if David Wilcox is in it, it's bunk. All due respect. But they're good stories. Cryptic Hogan's long blink. He does have one of those, doesn't he? Alien Bodies has a lot of Nazca documented. I'll have to look into that nooner. Definitely going to do an episode on that. If you did an episode, says Beats and Meats about Nazca bodies, it would come out a lot like the crop circles episode. You think so? When there's a hoax, but then the hoax is a hoax, evidence gets wilder and wilder. I mean, it caught my attention right off the jump, those pictures. Now, my guts is thinking hoax, but some of the pictures are pretty good. Big Papa, would you consider looking into Princess Diana murder conspiracy? Probably not here, but it would be a good one for the What Files. I don't do a lot of murder stuff here. I try to keep it fun. Because kids are watching. They shouldn't be. They should not watch this.
No.
When I see age 10 watches it, don't let them watch this. But if they are, I try to avoid doing stories with bodies. Because my favoriteest thing is getting a picture of, from a 7-year-old girl with a Y-Files hoodie hugging a plushie. I mean, we get those pictures all the time. Thor, is that the cancer healing seal on your t-shirt? Yeah, that's the magic seal fetus. I think you can get those in the Y-Files store. I think. Wear me. I'm just a quick check to see if it's there. If you're the Crab Cat, that's a good one. I wear that one a lot. Oh boy, we got a lot of pages. Well, it's in there somewhere. That's a good one too. The Grand Order of the Benevolent Hecklefish. Timeo Cancris catus. If you're the crab cat. So before you buy anything, make sure you become a member for $3 on YouTube. You get 10% off. And I have a new code going up tonight for May. Every month is a new code. Arctic, whatever happened to Phil Schneider and the Dulce? Phil committed suicide. He was found dead in his apartment, shot himself, allegedly. No, strangled himself with like surgical tubes. Maybe shot himself also. I have to look into it. But his death was weird. But I've covered his whole story. And I debunk a good chunk of it. Phil was not a well man. But that doesn't mean he was wrong. But his story is pretty wild. If you don't know it, he was an engineer, which is proven. And he worked on construction for the military. That's documented. And he said that he was working on Dulce, New Mexico, an underground base, and went down in the hole with like a special forces fire team and got into a shootout with the aliens. And that's why he lost parts of his fingers and has scars all over his body, is because he got into a shootout with aliens and they took out a bunch of special forces guys and he went back up the shaft. But that's not how he got his injuries. Casey Gates, he shot himself in the back of his head twice. Yeah, that does happen. One of those CIA suicides. Need more dark hecklefish as plastic wrap. So, Dawn, I have never talked to Billy Carson, but I would. It would be fun to have in the basement, but I think what I'm going to do, and we'll see if anyone even wants to come back or go on after they find out what I'm doing. But I'll talk to a guest, and then before I release the episode, I'll do a little research, and I'll see if I can debunk some of their claims. And I'll just pop in real fast, like, all right, so that stuff that he said in the past 45 minutes, here's what's really true. Which I think it'd be a fun format because it's kind of like what the channel is. But then word gets around and guests are not going to want to come on just so I can debunk them later without giving them a chance to respond. They're not going to want to do that. I think that helps, though. I think that helps weed out the hoaxers. For someone who's confident in their position, it's like, he can't debunk me. I'll go on there. Aaron Hansen, please help me. I can't find a Hecklefish plushie. They're on there, I think. We're out.
No, international. We don't ship internationally.
Oh, yeah, we don't. It's too expensive. And it was like a $20 t-shirt and then $45 to ship it overseas. So we just stopped shipping overseas. Sorry about that, but it's just, we don't, the shipping fee, we don't get that. That goes to the printer and, the Printify or whatever. And it just felt like a scam. And it just wasn't a good look. So if you're overseas and wanted merch, I'm sorry about that. Mischief is your 20-year wedding anniversary. Congratulations. Someone spent 20 years with her, huh?
Yeah.
Randall Carlson is a champion. Graham Hancock, too. I agree, Aaron. Those guys are great. Anthony Zaro, hey, what do you think of the power grid failure in Europe? Early signs of magnetic pole shift? I don't think it has connected with the magnetic pole shift, but the shift it's beginning. I kind of don't want to be around for it, but I think we might be. I think it's almost time to reboot this simulation. There's so many conspiracies and prophecies that all point to the same thing, and it's all pointing to like 2027 or 2035. And that's when Apophis hits or whatever. Martin, I can't pronounce that. Enjoys always. Keep up the great work. You hit the space bar whenever you want. I like that. You put the space bar, you own that space bar. It's like an E.E. Cummings poem. The seeing, what are your thoughts about Mandela effect? I thought they were mostly fake, just not fake, but just memories that people got wrong. And I was talking to Gino about these, and he's like, "No, they're real." And I said, "Nah, I don't believe Mandela effect." And he started listing the common ones, Berenstain Bears and all these. And I said, "Nope, I remember. I never knew that. No, I remember." Then he finally got to Moonraker. And he said, so at Moonraker, when Jaws comes down and meets the girl, Dolly, he said, so did Dolly have braces? I said, of course, because that's the joke. But in Moonraker, she didn't have braces. And I was like, that's wrong. He's like, nope. I went and looked into it. It's definitely a Mandela effect. She did not have braces. They went back and looked at the original print of the film. There are no braces there. And after that, then it started thinking that maybe there's something to it. And I covered this in an episode, is that Philip K. Dick believes that the Mandela effects, he didn't call them that because he died before the Mandela thing, but he believed that those effects were simulations overlapping with each other. So when he would write alternate fiction, like Man in the High Castle, where the Allies lose World War II, he said, he didn't make that up. He said he lived that in a different reality, and that he would see in his dreams usually. PKD was crazy, but he's the best. So I've mentioned this before, but look for him giving a talk in like 1979 in France. And he's got a bunch of fans there that just think they're going to hear him like talk about his book. And he goes on for like an hour about how we're living in a simulation that's one of many hot simulations, and they can intersect and overlap, and time is not linear, and all this crazy stuff. And they pan around the room, and people are just like staring at him, like this guy's crazy. But if you let your mind just be a little bit open to the possibility, he makes a lot of sense, and he predicted a lot of things. I'm just catching up in the chat. Wolf agreed Piketty was awesome. He's the best to ever do it. Footbed Piketty was very special. He was. Shane, did the Y-Files emblem supposed to have a T in it? No. I designed it to make you think that there should be a T in it. Like I was saying, TWF. I wanted your brain to insert the T. And I think it worked. You're Killing Me, Smalls. I remember that one. Yeah, I think the logo worked. I mean, plenty of people are stealing it, so I guess it worked. Right? So, content thieves everywhere. Content thieves all over the place. When they steal my stuff, most of the time they'll actually credit me and be like, I kind of got this from the White House. And then I don't pay attention. I don't really bother with them because at least, all right, you stole it, but you gave me credit. But there's one guy just stealing my scripts, my B-roll, using my titles, and people were calling him out for it. And he's like, no, I'm different than the Y-Files. I don't have a fish. I'm just giving you my take. But you're not. You're giving them my take. So that annoys me. Just admit it. Just admit it. We can see the date stamps. You stole it. Just admit it. You know, I try to give credit for other stuff. There was a dust up over the Fantazoid thing with where a guy said that he invented that term. Got very upset. His fans like flooded the channel. But I never heard of the guy. You know, I just got a stack of research and wrote an episode. But I commented on his community post and I even credited him in the description. Just in case it's his. You know, so I don't want to be a content stealer. So if you invented that, I don't know if he did, but it doesn't hurt to give him credit. It doesn't take anything away from me. I'm very honest in that I don't know any of the stuff. I read about it for a week. I try to tell a fun story and then I move on. Elite Super Grunt crying about a made-up word. Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. Like, really? We're going to get upset over this? But I took a minute to just put myself in his shoes. I don't know what his life approach is. I don't know his situation. And it just, I could have gone two directions. I chose humility over ego because it's just better to make a friend. You know, so I responded to his outburst and said, look, I never heard of your channel, but if it's yours, it's a great word. And I'm happy to give you credit for it. Vividly, have you read The Life Between Lives by Dr. Michael Newton? One of my favorite books. I love all of Newton's work. I'm just catching up in the chat. All words were made up at some point. That's true. Josh Schroeder, would you do an episode on the Wendigo of the Sawtooth Mountains? It's a legend in Idaho that I'm intrigued by. That's on the list. James Shell, good karma. I think so too. There's nothing to be gained. And my team brought it to my attention. I didn't find it. And they kind of told me to just ignore it. He's a small channel, just ignore it and it goes away. But I went and looked at his comments. He was really upset. So it's just a small thing for me to go on there and apologize, and maybe he gets some credit. And I think it speaks to the character of mine and the channel. AJ went from YouTube ignoring him to can't ignore him, just hold him back. Thanks, Army Nation. Good to see you back. Sentinel, by the same token, I could have gone two directions. There's a crab cat statements on every other channel. I go to some with only a few thousand. I mean, if another channel is using the crab cat, that's just blatant. It's really hard to copy the Y-Files because it's so obvious what you're doing. Because they can't do the fish. It'll be too obvious. So what they do is they just pull him out and just pull his jokes out and just read my script. We got some Brandon Sanderson fans there. Justin says, we're like the alien toys in Toy Story 24/7 chat. We wait in awe for the great leader to make an appearance. We love you, bro. Oh, thanks, Justin. Ooh, the claw. God, you girl, thank you for being a mensch. I try to be. If my gut reaction is to be upset, then I try to take a breath because I'm usually wrong. Elite Super Grunt, a lot of people steal Mr. Ballin's content. I bet they do. Because you could, I mean, his is easy to steal because it's just him talking. So you just copy it and you just read it. And John's production, I'm not trying to take a shot at him, but his production value is lower. It's easier because he's just green screen. It's just him talking. And just talking off of notes. Man, I wish I could do that. I can get so much more stuff done, but I can't do that. I have to be scripted. I can't just flow like John does, as you can see by this podcast.
Yikes. You call this a live stream? How are you not embarrassed?
Jen, I accidentally clicked on one that looked like the Waffle House cover, then clipped off immediately. Stupid thieves. Yep. They're stealing the thumbnails. They're trying to get you to click over there and watch and try to capture you before you realize it's not what you meant to click on. Brian, just curious if you looked at investigated the new dating on the shroud from the scattered X-ray that estimates 2,000-year-old relic. I haven't heard that, but Shroud Torrens definitely can revisit that because I thought it was debunked, but then the debunking was debunked. Good night, Pete. Herculean Prime, first live stream. Pardon me. Nebula Zero loves the channel. Glad you're here. Avatar Guy, will you interview Shatner? Would he have me? I don't think he would. Josh, you're not a ghost believer. What about the old hag? It was the scariest experience I've ever had, but I don't believe it was a supernatural one. It felt like it at the moment, but I tend to believe that most shadow person experiences are similar because our physiology is similar. I could be wrong. I don't want to be, though. The hag was scary. Lawrence, Gino and I did meet Giorgio Soulakis at a talk many, many years ago before he was super famous. I would love to. I don't know what I would interview him about. Maybe it'd be fun. I'd want to talk to more about the behind the scenes stuff, not about aliens. I'd have, questions for him about the shows that he'd been on. And Prometheus, the production company that I worked for, and explained. Wait, the Wi-Fi House backstage is 24/7 live. Is that? Yeah, that's us. That was a Patreon request. You should run the show 24/7. And I thought no one's going to watch that, but thousands of people do. There's 3,000 or 4,000 people over there right now. I don't know much about that vividly. Zeb, interview his hair instead. I like the hair. I like that he has a look. T. Nooner, it's fantasy that realistic portrays many mental illnesses. Just amazing story. Highly recommend. Okay, I've spent $50. Now I'm done. I'm going to look into it, Nooner. I'm looking for a new book. Champion, what you're taking the Black Pyramid under Alaska. I covered that. I debunked most of it, but I do think that there's some stuff going on in Alaska. Mount Mother Effin Hayes, where Pat Price is the only remote viewer that I kind of believe. Because I don't really believe in remote viewing all that much, but I'm open to it. But Pat Price was very special, and he saw in Mount Hayes the American government working with aliens on a project. He saw it. So I think there's something going on in there, but investigators have gone up there and it's like there's no roads in or out. So the only way into that mountain would be underground, and you'd be aware of it, of a tunnel system that big. It's really difficult to pin down. Eric, good Stargate episode. I'm going to cover Stargates. Carson is the Donnie Brasco of the lecture tour circuit. Stella, how does the 24/7 After Files work out in terms of the algorithm and view counts and all that? Does it boost? Not really, because it's a different channel. But maybe it sends some people over here. But I don't know why you would want to start with a 24/7 stream if you don't know the show. I don't know why anyone watches it. But since people do, I put some thought into it. So the episodes are randomized but targeted. So if you see an episode that's within the first 1 to 50, the next one will be within the first 50 to 100, 150 to, and so on. So the episodes are really spaced out, and there's new content in between. I program it kind of like UHF or Amazon Women on the Moon. There's like bits in there and promos and shout outs and some of our sketches. All that stuff is in between the episodes. Batple had a dream about the 9th planet. Brandon, what's your personal favorite about tonight's episode? It's the ship in the desert, because that one really didn't belong with the others, the ghost ships, because there was no people, and there's nothing really spooky about the ship in the desert. But it's a story that I always was really attracted to, and when I looked into it and saw that it was scientifically feasible that a ship could be in there, I was in. Michael Trevino, T-Rex was an overgrown ostrich. I was just talking about them with Jen the other night. That it's thinking about the time of the dinosaurs is too big for my brain. And it's probably too big for yours too, if you think about it. Because it was like a different planet. But they were here for so long. Like, we're here for no time at all. We just popped up. There was something like 5 billion T-Rexes lived and died on the planet over millions of years. And then they went away, and there were other dinosaurs for millions of years. Millions of years. We've only been here for what, 300,000? $10,000 watching, only 2.3 thousand likes. That's actually pretty good. There's 10,000 people watching. What are you guys doing? You don't have to watch. This is not a professional.
Captain's log, stardate 10/09/46.44. The After Files live stream has proven itself once again to be extremely unprofessional.
What should descendants of Operation Paperclip do? That is a great question. And it occurred to me during the episode, because I name a lot of names. And as I'm doing that, I'm thinking, well, this guy probably has like 10 grandchildren. They know who Pop Pop was. I mean, they probably know that Pop Pop was a scientist. They don't know that, he was running a Nazi slave camp. Just throwing slave Jewish labor at the projects till the rocket was built. That V2 rocket killed 2,000 people in England, but 30,000 Jews died building it. 30,000 died. And Werner von Braun said he didn't know. Yeah, so that story makes me angry. I always call it out. Whenever his name comes up, Hecklefish will bring up the Nazi thing. Like, we won't let it go. The sins of the father? Nah, I don't believe in that. Jane Shelley, your dad was a pop-up. I just thought it would be a fun way to say it. Linda, I like your self-deprecating manner. It's not that intentional, which kind of makes it worse. Tasmanian Adventures for 5. Shout out to my dad. Hey, Dad. Do you think the disappearance of planes over the seas like MH370 1 and Valentich is related to the boats in your new video? It could be. I believe that the triangles are weird. There's no real proof of anything, but that underwater base near Bermuda Triangle, that I'm attracted to that story. There's something, my instincts tell me that there's something to it. And that's how a lot of these stories work. Like with the ship in the desert, there's really no evidence of it besides these secondhand accounts, but my gut tells me that it might have been real. when like orangutan, I don't believe was real, but I think that ship in the desert might have been there. Mr. Beach, you see that study found that lucid dreaming is a new state of consciousness. I didn't see that. I'd like to read that. And someone was asking to do it for me to do a lucid dreaming tutorial video. I'd like to do that, but I'll probably put that on Patreon or something. You sounded like a little kid when you said, "Hi, Dad." I felt like a little kid when I said it. Let's get back to the point. Ghost ships. Ghost ships. Curious Nog, $50.
That's me in the fishbowl. That's me on the YouTube, begging you for money. I need to buy a little more booze, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I need $10. I haven't got enough.
Hello again from the Curious Noggin. Just one more idea for a video. I think looking into fungus could cause a pandemic like The Last of Us, but in real life. I think there's a lot of truth to it, so it would be interesting. Take care. Also loving the 24/7 stream. I covered it a little bit. I was talking about the zombie fungus that attacks ants, and it kills the ants and takes over their body to spread the fungus. So that's what The Last of Us, the game was, is that strain of fungus jumped to humans, which is a really cool zombie idea. What?
That'd be scary.
The zombie ant fungus. Cordyceps. That's it. Cordyceps. Last of Us was scary. Last of Us 2, not as much. All right, where are we at? Don't super chat anymore because we're gonna wrap this up soon. Don't spend your monies. Keep your monies. In fact, let me do a little give back here. I see you. That's the Maine Coon kitten. You see him?
So sweet.
Where are you going? Where are you going, buddy? Oh, he was playing with the wire. Get the string. Get it. Get it. Look at the peoples.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought he was going to die. But nope.
We'd have lost another month.
What happened?
I said we would have lost another month if the kitten died.
We would have. That would have been hard. All right. She's making me sad. Alyssa said, I live right by there. I have pictures of the red horse and a gas mask. Yeah, send it in. Oh, and they are building houses all over the buried plutonium and uranium. Oh, no. That's how they're going to make a new Spider-Man. That way. Look at all the green. All the green landing in the chat. Pam received a gift. Matthew Eisenhower. April Norman. Him J20. Joe G. AP. Luis. Caddy wins. All receive memberships. Loki owner. What does green mean? If you're a member of the channel, your name shows up in green. I think it's kind of a psychological FOMO thing that they do. Is you just want to be in the cool club. What? I'm trying to do a thing here. Where is he? No, he's banging around by my feet somewhere. But he's slippery, that one. Paul, there it is. he wants Snoopy to go on. You want Snoopy? He loves TV, but his favorite thing to watch is the Snoopy screensaver that I have. That's his favorite. He loves to watch Snoopy, and when Woodstock flies in, he goes bananas. He's definitely going to knock that TV over. I have it propped up with pillows behind it just in case, but this is going to be a 25-pound animal. That's going to be a big animal. He's only 7 months old. You see how big he is? Blizzard Peak, you're welcome. Thanks for the 316. Oh, John 316. Nicely done. Well said, sir. Collapse thrown for 10. Hello, if the Anunnaki made us workers to take over for the others, could there be... Oh, I read this one earlier. One taken as a wife. Could we already exist outside this world? Thoughts? Yeah, I think so. That's part of the theory. Alexis, my granddad was a Freemason. If you want questions answered, portals, time travel, Anunnaki, lizard people, just ask. We'll send in the stories. Email the stories. What did granddad say? He time traveled through portals? I bet he had good stories. Pop was a time traveler. David's back. Have you heard of those plastic coffins they have stored for FEMA? Uh-huh. I have. Any idea what they're for? They're for bodies. They are for bodies. Yeah, I'd like to do a deep dive on FEMA, but I won't. It's too hot. Yeah, because FEMA needs to go away. But I won't cover it. There's certain things I will not talk about. And I know because I know I can't. So we won't cover FEMA. You'll never hear me talk about Mossad. Nope. PV for $6.99 loves heckle fishing Gertie. Appreciate that.
Whoa, this is one smart human. Are you sure you're not pot goldfish?
E. McKellen for 10, the Hunga Canyon Contact Story, first published in 1980, written by Anne Druffel and Scott Rogo, one of the first books on alien abductions. That sounds familiar. There, I've got the zombie ants up there. Oh, there's a video of it. Should we watch that? This is payback for you guys that have to wait for the ads. This is payback that I have to sit and wait for the ads when I'm live. And you can't skip this one. Just got to wait it out.
Race to decompose dead matter on the
That
forest
audio coming
floor.
through?
Many spread by releasing spores. The body has been taken over by cordyceps,
You got the spores in her.
a parasitic fungus.
So she's not in control of her body right now.
Floods her brain with chemicals,
The fungus is controlling this animal.
compelling her to head where conditions are perfect.
She doesn't want to go there. Fungus is making her go to where the fungus wants to be.
Just the right amount of light. Just the right amount of humidity for the parasite growing inside.
Yep. The parasite comes down. You guys have seen this, right?
It forces her to clamp down in a death bite. And cordyceps reveals its gruesome nature.
Right?
After 3 weeks of growth,
3 weeks.
cordyceps can release its own spores, infecting more ants, releasing more spores, infecting more ants.
The mycelium is everywhere.
There are over 600 species of cordyceps spread across the world. Most are found in jungles, where they prey on a whole host of victims.
Spiders, ants. Nat Geo, they crushed it with that one. Yeah, so cordyceps is a cool idea for a zombie movie. Jack Simple, once all cryptology and cryptozoology is shown by the Akashic hologram, what will you do? I'll make a video about that. That's a clicker. You say it with such conviction. I respect that it's going to be revealed. I mean, that sounds like Bluebeam, which I thought I debunked, but then things started happening. People started seeing stuff. Drones started appearing over army bases. The blue dot. How about alien activity in Nome, Alaska, described in the movie The Fourth Kind? That's a good idea. I am looking for more alien stories just to do as quickies, as quick stories. Trey Basham, COVID shot to start it off. Ilmatic fungus are so weird, but so prevalent. They're everywhere. The mycelium lives on every continent, including Antarctica. Scott, our longtime listener, hope you're all right. I'm all right. Broken rib is doing better. It's not floating around as much. It still hurts though. Blue Samurai, saw one of the car-sized drones. Definitely not alien made. No, they weren't. That was all just a government psyop. There was nothing to the drone story at all. It was completely 100% planned. Remember what day the drone stopped, right? Inauguration day. What is Thomas Line saying? We bought a first batch Hecklefish plushie back in the day. Recently found it after the tornado we went through last year. In great shape, boomer sooner. That is just a funny image to me, is the tornado, and I just hear him screaming as he's spinning around in the twister. Taxes or theft or whatever he's screaming. Linda Reese, Leave the World Behind has been on my watch list. That's the one with Ethan Hawke, right? But I haven't gotten to it yet. Star Child, I broke a rib about 2.5 weeks ago. How did I break a rib? I wish I could say it was like at the dojo where I've broken ribs before, but I didn't. I fell in the bathroom like an old man. I might have been drinking. It might be a reason for a sober May. All right, we'll wrap it up soon. She's getting tired. You out of gas? Look at all that 5 miles merch.
We got 10,000 people.
Well, tell them a story. All right, there she goes. Alan, thanks for that. Don't super chat because I want to read them all. All right, I think I can get through these. Oh, Jay Hayes, Nuna, did you just declare a tip war? We love a tip war. Belter, you probably heard this a million times. I have to say, you've got the greatest voice, money-making voice. I'm glad you think so. All I hear are closed sinuses when I hear myself. Like, I will write my scripts. Oh, look, here it goes. You're Snoopy. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, get it. I'll just do kitten cam. Yeah, let me know how the tip war goes. Delirium Tonic. I'd love to see an alternative theory of human history, like merging all theories into a plausible timeline from leaving the Nibiru till today. That's a cool idea. I'd have to go full sci-fi, which I like doing, but I get a lot of angry comments when I do it. But it's like my favorite thing to do on the show is when I intercut those science fiction scenes in between. It's my favorite thing to do on the show, but a lot of people hate it. Danny Stormborn is here, very reliable. She likes the kitten cam. Kravis, you know the TV's coming down from the cat soon. Be sure to film it. Yeah, he's going to knock that over at some point. Wouldn't be the first TV that I've lost around here. You remember when we threw our TV on the floor? Yeah. Setting it up and we both watched it. No. And Jen and I just looked at each other and we went to bed. We just went to bed. Defeated. Donna Lynn, my cat loves wine. I don't think you should feed your cats booze. I had never even thought to do that. Like, it never occurred to me to give my animals booze. I'm not going to. Because I've already seen him drunk and I didn't like it. That was when I thought he was dying. But it was probably something with his ear. They think vestibular issue. But he was fine in 24 hours. But we thought he was dying. Becky Howard, shilling for like buttons. Smash the like button. All 10,000 of you. If you want to. I mean, it helps the channel if you hit the like button. It does help. But I try to just beg at the beginning. I try to just beg at the end after you got the content. I hate when I click on a video and the first 25 seconds is, this is what I do here. I invite you to subscribe and join and hit the notification bell all before I wanted the information. But you're supposed to do that. But I didn't want to do that. I made the channel that I wanted to watch, which is get right to it and save the plugs at the end when I clicked away. So you know when the story's over and you know it's click away, because now I'm just going to do plugs for 2.5 minutes of just plugs, and then another 3 minutes of the song for the Patreon credits. And it's the same every time. So you can click away. Although Hecklefish is different. He has different jokes at the end every time. I'm trying to get you to get the watch time up. You want to hear what he says, right? You want to hear him say, get yourself a fistable mug and stick your fin in it or whatever. He's not here to judge you what you do with your mug.
He's not here to judge.
Someone in the chat said coffee tastes better out of a fistable mug.
It does.
Can't deny that. T5 new video on deep underground military bases. If there's a new one to talk about. Curious Noggin, the song is the best. It's catchy. Hitting the like buttons is a catch, makes the ratings go up. The White House can be #1 on YouTube if we all pull together. If we all pull together, we can go after PewDiePie, and then we can take down Jimmy, or take down Mr. Beast. We're coming for you, Jimmy. We're coming for you. I don't think he's not worried about me. He doesn't know who I am. To make any chance of a deep dive in the Eisenhower supposed meeting with the aliens in the 50s, an Air Force base. Yep, you have it coming up. That's the Greada Treaty. That's coming up very, very soon. So Eisenhower went golfing in Palm Springs and disappeared for a couple of days. Nobody knew where the president was. And then he came back and it's like they said it was an emergency dental appointment, which there's no evidence of. But there is evidence that nobody knew where the president was. Just, no one knew. It's the president. So there might be something to that story. But yeah, 10, that's coming up. Matt Choppers, there's an orb that appeared when you was talking about not believing in ghosts, but being open about it. What a crazy coincidence. That's just the simulation, always listening. You can program it yourself. You just have to connect. I believe it. I'm not trying to get woo-woo, but I believe in that. the simulation, the energy, all that. R. Kreischer Holloman Air Force Base is probably my favorite UFO video. It shows the UFO coming down. I think it was 1969. And Doty says that was the first meeting of the Serpo project, which was the exchange between the American military and the scientists, the alien scientists on the planet Serpo. So if you watch that episode, I take you through their whole journey of the I guess astronauts that go to the planet, what the travel is like, what life is like on Serpo, all taken from witness accounts, if you believe them. I'll leave it to you to decide. You know, a lot of it comes from Doty. So, do we believe Doty? You guys, everyone know who Richard Doty is, right? Former Air Force intelligence. He became kind of famous for the Paul Benowitz case, where Paul Benowitz was seeing aliens and hearing them on his radio, and it was all an Air Force psyop. And Doty was like feeding him information, feeding him Majestic 12 documents. Doty was interfering with the UFO community. He had paid informants in there. Bill Moore was a famous UFO author, paid Bill Moore to spread disinfo in the UFO community. And Bill Moore's career was basically ruined when it got out. He was booed off the stage. I show it in the video. But years later, now Doty says everything is true. That the Roswell landings, there's actually 2 crashes. That's true. That they recovered 3 bodies. One lived with them from 47 to 1952. That was EBA 1. And lived, I guess, in New Mexico. Mary Jane's leaving. Good night. 10,000 on a Wednesday. It feels like Thursday doing this. Tomorrow's not Friday. I'm wrapping it up. Only a few left. Microdrivia, the largest organism known as a fungus. Kylo Daily 5, Last of Us video game, had spores infecting humans from the main storyline. Yep, that's the cordyceps. Will my tits grow? Over here, they get smaller. That's right. Dang, how do I miss these? I live for After Files. I've been trying to be more consistent with these. I'd like to release the episode release schedule to be more consistent, but at least we're getting stuff out there. Frank says it's Thursday in Beijing. Okay. She's in here. Is Eligo Jose? Thanks for membership and greetings from Argentina. I'd like to propose a topic, an Argentinian prophet called Benjamin Solari Paravicini. Hugs to all. Loves especially Heckafish Chow Chow. I'll look into him. Benjamin. There he is. He was an Argentine visual artist known for his supposed psychic abilities to forecast future events. That's a good episode. These are always clickers. The prophets are always clickers. They don't like when I debunk them, though. Oh, the Edgar Casey fans, they hammered me. Benjamin Solari's psychic ability to forecast future events. Claim predictions were the launch of Sputnik 2, advent of television, development of artificial insemination, the September 11th attacks, 56 Suez Crisis, Cuban Revolution, and the rise of Fidel Castro, and many other historical events. We should definitely cover this guy. He says he was abducted by 2 whitish-eyed beings, similar in appearance to what would later be known as the Nordics. The Nordic aliens. Those are the tall whites that Charles Hall saw. Spoke to him telepathically in Spanish, the native language. You have to preach love. The universe is harmony. Your behavior is aggressive. We have several chosen ones. We will meet again. Previously was on the same sidewalk bank. He was abducted at 3 hours later. Wow, so lost time also. Yeah, that's a winner. Thanks for that, Aliaga. Amigo. That's a clicker. If you get angry commenter says Reggie T, then you know you're doing something correct. That's what I'm told. I don't know why thousands of people hate me. I really don't. I talk to a fish. But they do. Jack, for $5, just became a member.
Ooh, I finally love hearing the phrase, just the tip.
Hey. Thanks, Jack. There's hidden plate sight, throwing a ducat in there. Ducat in the bucket. Here's Wilma. I was going to use Wilma Tit Sag. Freckles is in the chat. I thought it was a Thursday night. It probably feels like that to you. You haven't slept in 3 days. And did a great job on the edit. All the boys did. And I got it done in time. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
I know. No, I had a feeling.
You had a feeling?
I knew it. I just knew they were going to get it this time. They did amazing, and I thanked them so much going out. I'm like, you guys are warriors.
I think it came out pretty good.
Yep.
Hidden in plain sight. You have a script for me. Well, send her in. Always looking for writers. Dave Schneider is, as a Freemason, feel free to ask. I'll gladly answer what I can. Well, now I'm on the spot, but I want to know if you time travel through portals and what level you have to get to. Delicate TV, and thank you for the buck. Well, I think that's everybody. Thanks to Hybrid. And who else was modding tonight? Mary Jane was there.
And Mischief. I saw Mischief.
Was there. Happy anniversary.
Dirt. Yep. Sanzel.
Sanzel was there. So
Yep.
Great job, mods, as always.
AC.
Thank you, Victoria. We appreciate the help. There she goes. There's AC, Mischief. Thanks, guys. So I appreciate all the super chats. Best way to support the channel is become a Patreon member for $3. And you also get private live streams over there, which are a lot of fun. They're way different than this because you can talk to us with your own camera. It's not just me talking into a microphone. But Patreon lets us keep most of the money where YouTube does not. Or if you're going to buy some merch, make sure you become a member and get the code. Save yourself some money, and all that membership money goes to the team. I don't keep a dime of that. So good night to Jim, Eric, Jane, Delicate Deviant, Alyssa. Just got your coin. Appreciate it. Blorpus and Chill and Hecklefish will sing you out.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I swam down each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all, it's all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a fish? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and of the world the water kneels. Our record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for the Wild Files House Band. You guys sounded great tonight. And take care of those waitresses, will you? All right. Everybody get home safe. This is Hecklefish. And you know what? I did it my